In the movie Good Will Hunting, one of my beloved movies, two professors are sitting next to each other at a bar and talking about math geniuses of yore so that they can give reference to the main character, Will Hunting. And one of them says, Ramanujan, have you ever heard of Ramanujan? He basically taught himself calculus and came up with amazing formulas all on his own. This kid is as good as Ramanujan. And the other guy said, Ramanujan, that's the Indians with dots, not feathers, right? Dots, not feathers. And this reference to Indians being people who have dots on their forehead is something that's carried through time. And while it might be a little bit culturally closed off to just think of Indians as people with dots on their forehead, there is actually a tremendous significance to the fact that Indians either wear a bindi if they're women, or a tika or a tilak as a man. And the reference to this is to the pineal gland, or the third eye. In Hinduism, there are numerous references to the third eye. One of them is the great story of Lord Shiva, who is meditating on the top of a mountain, and he's actually approached by a lusty woman who wants to make love to him because he's so handsome. And because Shiva does not want to be disturbed from his meditation, he opens his third eye and destroys the world. That is why, or one of the reasons why, he is known as the god of destruction. But this third eye, the pineal gland, is actually referenced in so many cultures. In Egypt, it's known as the Eye of Horus, and many other traditions have made reference to the third eye as well. It's a real thing, and it is a source of deep clairvoyance, intuition, and can be tremendously helpful on anyone who is an artist or a creative. The book that I want to give reference to for today's video is Pineal Gland in Your Third Eye by Dr. Jill Amen Wexler, a book that gives reference to habits and tactics that you can use to decalcify your pineal gland to some degree, maybe not fully opening your third eye, but opening it up just a little bit so that you can have more intuition and hunches, because a great source of what will give us progress in our artistry is activating intuition more and more. The best work that you could ever come up with as an artist will come as a result of tapping into intuition. In this book, Pineal Gland in Your Third Eye, Dr. Jill mentions that this is an invitation to expand beyond your everyday reality, to experience higher states of conscious awareness. But whether or not you choose to actually work at opening your third eye, simply doing these exercises will directly improve your mind, your wisdom, intuition, psychic abilities, clairvoyance, higher consciousness, divine experiences, and higher states of awareness that are all directly related to your third eye. The concept that there is a part of you that transcends your ordinary conscious mind may seem questionable, but today's scientific evidence suggests that we do indeed have access to a source of unlimited intelligence that we can tap into through our own superconscious mind and open our third eye. And for those of you who have followed me for any period of time, you know how intrigued and passionate I am about the superconscious mind. The belief that we have a higher self that can access through a third eye goes far, far back into history. Mystery schools once flourished throughout ancient civilizations from Greece, Egypt, India, China, and South America. For more than 3,000 years, the mystery schools of Egypt epitomized the ultimate in secret wisdom and knowledge. In ancient Egypt, the third eye was portrayed as the Eye of Horus or Ra. In the East Indian tradition, the third eye is referred to as the antar-guru, the seat of the teacher inside, the Ajna Chakra. According to Hinduism, the third eye chakra is also the exit point for one's kundalini energy. This is why Indians put a bindi or tilak on their third eye, to aid third eye concentration and meditation. There is also a thought that early founders of America, some of who were known to be Freemasons, may have memorialized this symbol on the Great Seal of the United States. That's the eye above the pyramid on the dollar bill. There's also scientific evidence for the third eye and what it can do. It's a tiny gland in your brain known as the pineal gland. It lies directly behind your eyes and is attached to your brain's third ventricle. The pineal gland secretes melatonin when you are relaxed and visualizing, and also responds to electromagnetic energy. This is one of the reasons why visualization of your goals is such a powerful thing. Because when you visualize and especially focus on this area, you actually secrete DMT. You actually secrete a hormone that is known as the God Force, and this helps in your manifesting ability. How can you know if your third eye is open or is in the process of opening? If you tend to make accurate, intuitive decisions and evaluations about your life, work, creativity, relationships, and the intentions and emotions of other people. You may often know things without being able to describe how you know them. You probably also have a very clear sense of personal direction and a clear picture of where your life is headed. Have there been days in your life where you've just been doing exactly the right thing? Like all day you could not make a mistake. You were saying the exact right words. You were proceeding the right way. When you drove, other people might run into traffic, but you wouldn't. You would go into a parking lot, and just as someone was pulling out, you would find a parking spot right next to the store you're trying to get into. That all is an indication of a deep intuition within you at work and an alignment with kind of the forces of the universe. So there are several metrics by which you can determine how open your pineal gland might be. It's just a general sense of flow in your life. If you have an easiness about your work, despite working hard, you'll notice that there's just a flow to the way you approach your work. And even though it's hard work, it's not abrasive. It's not friction heavy. It's something that you're actually willing to engage in. And on the other end of that, if you are lacking that flow, if everything feels like a battle, if you're constantly getting stuck in traffic, or you're constantly just getting hindered, slowed down, like you're trying to send an email and it won't send, these are all indications that actually you might need to step back and open up, your alignment with the universe a little more. The pineal gland excretes dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, a powerful and totally natural psychedelic known to induce dreams, near-death experiences, remote viewing, deep spiritual experiences, channeling, and out-of-body shamanic travel experiences. I actually have a very interesting experience related to the pineal gland and the superconscious mind. When I was in Los Angeles in 2017, I actually was one of the contenders for this movie Aladdin, the live-action Aladdin remake that'll be coming out in a few months. And the way I got that audition was that I had known that Guy Ritchie, one of my favorite directors, was going to be involved with that project. And so I had put up on a vision board that I want to have a go for this role. I was meditating on actually the rooftop of the school where I work at. And in the midst of my meditation, I brought my attention to my third eye, my pineal gland, and I actually was hit with a flash of insight. I had a hunch that I needed to contact my agent right away. And I messaged my agent saying, hey, I know that casting for Aladdin is about to start pretty soon. Do you know anything about that? Do you think you could submit me for the part? And she said, nothing has come in yet. And then as soon as we got on the phone, she said, oh my God, it just arrived. And so she submitted me for the role just as it came in, and it might have been one of the reasons why I actually had 5 auditions for that role, and I even went to London to audition for that part at Lucinda Sison Casting. So it was this amazing experience where I had a hunch to, out of the blue, contact my agent and talk to her about this billion-dollar movie, which was, totally outside of my ranking. It's the kind of role that only a, really well-established actor should be able to go for. But I actually had a pretty good run at it, and it's because I reached out to my agent at the right time. Access to your superconscious hunches is an incredibly emboldening thing in your artistic endeavors or in your business endeavors, and there are a few strategies by which you can do this. The first is that when you meditate, have some sort of practice in place where you give attention to your third eye, give attention to your Ajna chakra, and imagine it being filled up with light. Another thing you can do is to do something called making a mudra while you meditate. Cupping your hands like this and putting them on your lap as you meditate, this is known as the Gyan mudra, or the mudra related to knowledge. It's just a positioning of the hands that allows you to access more energy within your body. At least that is like a Vedic concept that some people believe. And other things that you can do to make sure that your pineal gland is as decalcified or as open as possible is to actually just clean up your diet. You should be eating organic food to the degree to which you're capable of. You should be eating green leafy vegetables. You should be getting your calcium from natural sources. And most importantly, you should be putting a filter on your tap water. There is actually a pretty solid amount of fluoride in our tap water. And fluoride is something that blocks off your access to the pineal gland. So having a really strong filter in place, using the Gyan Mudra, and meditating alongside using the third eye, that is incredibly beneficial to opening up your third eye. Other things that you can do to open up your third eye even more is to take an iodine supplement. You can either take an iodine supplement or eat more seaweed. These are actually ways of cleaning up your internal vibration. These are high vibration foods that can clean up your inner state. In essence, access to the pineal gland allows for more intuition and hunches to kick into your life. And the way that you can go about using your pineal gland a little more, secreting DMT in your brain, and having experiences that can give you intuitions and hunches. It just comes down to clean living. When you meditate, you should be focusing on your third eye every once in a while. You can use mudras such as the Gyan mudra or the knowledge mudra when you meditate. You can incorporate iodine and apple cider vinegar into your diet. Lastly, you should be putting a filter on your water. If you're new here, my name's Nikhil. This channel is about mixing Eastern spirituality with Western productivity. I also draw a lot of inspiration from cinema, novels, biographies, so if that appeals to you, I would love it if you subscribed. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you'd like to connect further, you can follow me on Instagram. I post about once a week on there, and we can definitely have a bit of a dialogue. I do respond to DMs. That being said, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.